Hey guys, I am Isabella, and this is my project for material science. I'm gonna be talking about the fashion industry and 3D printing. Before we get into the fashion industry side of things, I'm gonna talk about the use of 3D printing. Although we did go over this in class, it's just a quick reminder. 3D printing refers to the creation of physical objects in a three-dimensional model. 3D printing creates objects by laying down material successfully, so it becomes a very useful tool. We can create objects in a different complex shape. So companies like Ford have implemented 3D printing to manufacture and develop cars for testing. So how is 3D printing transforming the fashion industry? How is it being introduced? So 3D printing is being highly used in the creation of accessories like rings, hats, and necklaces because they can be easily assembled in minutes. It's not the same thing creating a piece of clothing because that takes more material and more time. And it has also allowed different and specific customization so brands can create pieces based on customers' wishes and body measurements so it can fit perfectly. 3D printing is used to create tools and prototypes that can help making the final product. So Louis Vuitton has been doing this to increase productivity. They create a prototype of like, for instance, leather purse, and they use that in meetings to see whether or not that's going to be launched in the future. So 3D printing can also be sustainable. We can reuse the unwanted materials into other manufacturing process. We can come up with methods to produce only necessary product so we can create less waste. So obviously the pictures and what I'm going to be talking about here are from Met Gala, New York Fashion Week, Haute Couture in Paris. And obviously those are not things we're going to wear on a daily basis. This is just created to impact people to see how powerful 3D printing can be, but obviously, those are prototypes of things we use on a daily basis. This is Adidas shoes, and this is a long sleeve. So obviously, we want to get here. This is what we want to use 3D printing for a daily basis. So this is an example of the use of 3D printing in the fashion industry. This is a Spanish fashion brand called Zur that uses 3D printing to produce clothing in a very futuristic way. So by using 3D printing, they create prototypes that generate no waste and no residues. So here in this picture are things that we can wear on a daily basis. I can see myself wearing this sweater, this jacket. So you can see that we can also create clothing that we can wear on a daily basis. So I'm going to be talking about the Met Gala, which is one of the most important events of the year. It's a one-night party, and it's also to raise money. So a lot of celebrities go there. And the year of 2019 was very important because the designer Zach Bosen created the dresses using 3D printing for many celebrities to wear that night. So the dresses were manufactured using this SLA 3D printer, and his philosophy is that almost everything can create using 3D printing. So here's two examples. The first one is Jordan Dunn. She was wearing this beautiful dress that was all created using 3D printing. Like literally everything she's wearing except from the shoes is created using 3D printing. And it was done to fit perfectly in her body type. And her dress was made up by 21 unique petals that were made from extreme white 2000 plastic, and then they were painted. So it took almost 100 hours to produce each petal. So it took a lot of time, and like I said, is to impact people to show how powerful 3D printing is. And also we have Dina Dobrev. She was wearing a dress that was also created using 3D printing. And her dress was actually done in 4 parts and were made using her measurements. In one of her interviews, she said that before the Met Gala, before the night, all the celebrities they do fittings, and she said her fitting was really unusual because when she went for the fitting, they just took pictures of her. They didn't put the dress on. She said she was done within like 10 minutes. It's just literally pictures so they can get the measurements for the dress. So I'm going to be talking about Julia Corner. She's a famous Australian architect and designer that produced clothing by using 3D printing. She was responsible for making the crown and shoulder piece for Queen Ramonda that she wore in Black Panther. And she also has done works for haute couture brands like Chanel. So this is her right here. So one of her biggest projects was the Red collaboration because she changed how fabric is assembled into the outfit. So instead of the pieces being sewed together, they were printed directly onto the fabric. And she also developed 3D print buttons directly onto the fabric so that this is how they were attached. Like you can see here, these are buttons and they were attached into the fabric instead of sewed, which is really cool. And the inspiration for the project was the crystalline formations of the Dead Sea and the environment and Earth. So here's more pictures of the collection. You can see here that she tried to imitate the crystalline formations of that sea. So, and this is a very beautiful jacket as well that she created, and the purse. And now I'm going to be talking about my 3D model. I basically just make two dresses using an app called Clo. Obviously, it's not perfect. There's a lot of things that you can use in this app. You can select the fabric, the avatar, the material you're going to be using, and you basically create the pattern using the pattern window here. You create by using all of those tools. You can select the fabric right here, and then you're gonna sew everything into here. So you're gonna, I don't know if I can show you guys here real quick. Probably not because it's already done, like the project's done, but you can see that everything has to be fitted in her afterwards. Like you have to sew everything first and then click here so like the dress falls in her. So it's a really cool app. Obviously, I don't have a lot of practice with it, but if but I know a lot of people use this to create models, especially people that work in the fashion industry. So you can like see all her measurements. You can also use plus size avatars if you want to create a plus size clothing. So yeah, that's my project. That's my 3D model, and this is my project for material science. I hope you like and enjoyed. Have a great day.